Cool. Yeah, so it's time here. Welcome everyone to this week's distribution demo code. So what I plan to do today is test JSON's Madhurukas for 1210, allow configuring multiple Redis instances for multiple use cases, like using one for shared state, one for cache, one for action set.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So yeah, I had written Jason had written the demo notes. What I currently have with me is a chart-based GitLab instance running the latest table. I have two Redis instances outside the cluster in GCP that was brought up using Omnibus GitLab packages that run just Redis. So the plan is to get the latest table upgraded to JSON's branch with the existing configuration, not changing anything. Then we are gonna try migrating it to multiple Redis instances, like separating out the cache to a different Redis instance and or everything else to another Redis instance while turning off the internal one, or the one that comes with the charts. So I'm on the JSON MR branch that's rebased against the latest master. So just checking if everything is running. Okay, so this is running the latest table, 3.2.3.3. That's running GitLab 12.9.3. So let's get this upgrade. So this is the configuration that I used. I'm just setting a domain and external IP and nothing else. Let's upgrade it to the branch or the contents of the branch. So once we try out using two external Redis instances, okay. Oh, I used the wrong configuration. Yeah, so once we do the external Redis ones using Omnibus, if time permits, we want to try doing this from the chart instance. So Jason has a multi-instance, a chart supporting multi-instance, spinning up multiple instances. So in his personal repo, it's linked in the demo notes. So warhead says / multi-redis GitLab. If time permits, we are gonna try that to see how it spins up all these different instances. Which will be interesting because I don't see JSON in the code. Yeah. So the MR is 1287 in case you want to check it out. Okay, so it should have been upgraded. Yeah, I see new ports getting started, old ones terminating. Let's see if it goes well. I forgot if I have KNF installed. No, I don't. Oh, that's way too many sidekick ports, which I believe is a known issue. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new sidekick ports and 6 new unicorn ports.
You said that's a known issue, Baloo?
I believe so. I remember it being mentioned in few of the previous calls. So it
Gotcha.
is a known issue. I think it may not qualify as a bug, but something that will automatically heal on itself. But I have to confirm. But I have seen this before. It was mentioned earlier.
Gotcha.
A few more unicorn ports to go, and we should be good to go. Okay. We should be good. Just to ensure it loads fine. Okay, yeah. So I have two Redis instances that use the same password, Redis password, both under my personal domain. So just check, ensuring that we can reach the. Don't worry, all of these are demo instances that I'll tear down once I'm done with the demo. So yeah, two instances, both are working. I could see the Redis info. Let's use the, let's update the configuration. So I am essentially copying or mimicking the example configuration for taking cache, the separate instance for cache. So this one in the MR. So first we disable the internal Redis. We stop installing that. Then we specify a Redis host for the general Redis use cases. So that goes to redis.in. Then we specify a separate one for cache. I have the secret in a Kubernetes secret because both of them have the same password. I am essentially reusing the same secret. So let's see if that causes some problem. From checking out the MR, it shouldn't, but let's see.
It shouldn't. Basically, the trick that's being done is every time it mounts the Redis password secret again, it has another entry in the projected volume, and it tells it to mount the secret to a different path. So even if you're using the same secret, you're mounting it to several different paths instead of the same path. It was actually more complicated to tell all the charts to try and share a path or where is the path for this secret, as opposed to just mount this key from this secret to a known path. And then if you're using this particular Redis, this is the password name for it, even if it's the same content.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. So I'm not sure if this is my internet speed or the cluster's problem, but Helm update takes quite some time in my attempts. Jason, can we use the built-in Redis for everything and then external Redis for just cache? Is that
right
a support?
now, that's not an option. The MR was put together in such a way that it expects that if you provided anything, you are assuming that everything is running externally.
Okay.
It's not that that's impossible to do using the shared so that you have the in Redis and then everything else outside. Not impossible, but the assumption at this point, as a part of the issue in the MR, is if you're to the point you need to scale things separately, you probably need to manage the instances as opposed to just letting our auto magic work.
Okay. Okay. I prefer doing this.
I went ahead and linked the discussion item from a couple of days ago.
Okay. Okay, I don't see anything Redis related. Let's see if Rails can see it. Something went wrong. It's just taking time. GitLab Redis queues. Okay, queues. Okay, it seems to have queried the Redis instance. I could see info. Let's try signing out and in. So for cache also I could get the info. Which let's so yeah, rescue.yaml has the correct content. Redis.cache.yaml. Cache also has the correct content. No, because rescue has it. There won't be one separate for queues. So yeah, I think it did work. I could ping the Redis instances from GitLab Rails, and the YAML files, the Redis client configuration all looks correct. So I think the basic functionality is working. We can spin up different Redis instances and use it for different use cases. Now to try the multi-Redis GitLab chart. I should. So let me clone this first. Jason, do we expect this as a subchart to GitLab or?
No, it's expected to just be a separate deployment. I will point out, however, it was built for Helm 3. So that's a schema 2.
I am running Helm 3.
Okay, then no problems whatsoever then.
So it will fetch the upstream GitLab chart, right? Or okay, so it fetches the Bitnami Redis chart.
My mic was off. Right now, to deploy this, you'd have to clone it, but it is only designed to actually do the deploy of the Redises. It's not designed to integrate GitLab or with GitLab at all.
Okay. Okay, so I'll clone this. Because I'm not exactly sure how to deploy this.
Okay, yeah, I'll say the first thing you want to do is if your release name for GitLab is anything other than GitLab, the simplest answer is to change existing secret to match whatever the generated secret would be, which is, for example, if you use demo, it would be demo Redis secret.
Okay, yeah, mine is GitLab itself, so that
Okay.
should be right.
Then there should be actually nothing you need to do other than just deploy it.
But to deploy from your branch, I need to be in that repository.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. So there's a Helm install right there. You just wouldn't bother passing it any arguments.
Oh, this one?
Yep.
The multi-Redis. Oh, do we
Yeah,
have it?
there's no custom YAML, so
yeah, okay.
just take the argument off.
Sorry, install multi-Redis. Oh, I should get the.
Yeah, you got to do Helm dep update.
Yeah.
I should add that to the README. Sorry.
That's okay. At least that's an error I am familiar with, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I remembered to make sure I put a git keep in the charts directory and then completely forgot to, oh, hey, you got to do a dep update first. Speaking of which, what you're seeing here, which is hilarious, is we're downloading 5 separate copies of the exact same tarball. They're fixing that in 3.2 so that you only download one once if it's the same thing. I found this out yesterday and I'm like, why, what?
Hey, we got bigger problems to fix first. we fix those first.
Right. This should install and output a notes content that actually tells you what all of the addresses are.
So this is essentially this,
Yes.
which means I can just copy this as multi-Redis.
I mean, I guess I could have notes.txt actually output raw YAML for you to just copy and paste. It is just a testing chart after all.
Multi-Redis of YAML. I have this.
Now, as a result, we just changed all of the Redis instances. So pretty much every pod is going to restart.
Restart, yeah. Makes sense. I'm not sure if HPA will kick in and spin off 10 sidekick pods. It did last time.
How big is your cluster?
Whatever our script spins up, GK script spins up.
And this is one of those things where we've started bumping into. We've seen it from time to time where you do an upgrade and the HPA goes, wee, and just starts running like mad. It manages to roll one pod and then it starts trying to roll the other pods, and then all of a sudden it just goes bonkers because it can't get them up in time. And it has to do with the startup speed, which is the other MR that I'm working on, which is to try and reduce the dependencies run from minimum of 15 seconds to 2 seconds, right? The faster we can do that, the better. And the fewer times we have to start all of Rails, the ridiculous amount of time we can shave.
Nothing restarted. I see multi-Redis pods coming up, but I didn't see anything else restarting.
Go back to the Helm shell.
It hasn't completed it. So
I'm like,
yeah.
All right. We had a user open an issue the other day because they had like changed out the Postgres server IP, and none of their applications config maps got updated, and I was confounded by that one. But it turns out in their environment, their particular environment plus Helm, this actually happened on half of their deployments, and they have many deployments. So you had me for a second there going, wait a minute. But yeah, Helm is running really slow for you.
Yes. Okay. You should have said that earlier. Okay, task runner is stopping, unicorn is stopping, sidekick is stopping. Sidekick got an error. Okay, transient it seems.
I can see dependency trying to run.
Yeah, you need 2, 3. At least.
And there go the pile of sidekicks while trying to get everything to
Yeah.
start. Yep, this is the HPA that goes a little bonkers. Sidekick especially, it's really bad at. Once the application is running, okay, there's an error outright. What do we got going on?
Connection refused.
Okay, no,
Okay.
that's what happened to the
Yeah.
pod. That doesn't tell me what happened to the application inside the pod. There you go.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I think it's getting fixed automatically.
Well, something in it isn't gone into a crash loop back off. Are they the old pods?
No, 2 minutes. That is one of the new one. Old one is the 16-minute.
Okay, yeah, then there's definitely something going on here. We need to capture what's actually failing in this sidekick. So you had log tacf running. All right.
Invalid password. Redis,
Okay.
yeah. Redis password didn't reach the can I exec into it?
You won't be able to exec into the sidekick
Yeah.
pod. You're best using task runner to check.
This is my old password.
Well, if you
okay. I know what happened. I didn't remove this, but it should have got merged, right?
oh, I see you're using Redis password, whereas my settings are setting the key to secret. But
I mean, if I delete this,
okay,
your settings should take effect, right?
yes. So what was happening was you actually had specified global.redis.cache.password, whereas my settings don't specify that and inherit the password. Well, technically they're doing YAML anchors, so they kind of inherit the password. It's a good question.
Sure. So we are technically at the time limit. I'll be continuing the call till I see what happens. So if anyone has any other engagements, feel free to drop out. Okay, I see unicorn spinning up. Few sidekicks on. Okay, this is the old one. Okay, I see a new sidekick running. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a fifth one spinning up. Okay. Other than the fact that HPA went crazy again, I think it is working.
Yeah, we may have to investigate what property stack happened for you in your settings. But to do that, would have to do Helm install dry run debug and catch the output. You don't want to type that manually and have it end up in your shell.
Okay.
But
You wanted me to do that now?
No. We can leave that as an investigation item of what happened.
Okay. Let's do a final check of if task runner could find everything. Yeah, I see a generated password. Cache. Same
You should go to just do
password.
redis.star.
Cache queue shared state. Okay, action cable is disabled, which makes sense. Okay, so I think it worked. Let's see if I can get some info out of Redis nodes. I should have just done the libraries runner.
Yeah, but if you tried to run Rails runner back to back, you'd have to start Rails more than once. So pay the cost once.
Oh, that's a lot of time for Rails environment to boot up.
And well, when you have any node that has a whole bunch of Rails firing up at the same time, yeah, there's some CPU
Yeah.
contention. Because unfortunately, Rails is single.
Yeah.
I see the old sidekicks are still there somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. I
We're
see a
waiting
new
for
one being
one
spinning
more.
up.
The HPA should be knocking all the old ones out. Of course, for some reason, there is a 27-minute old one still there, probably because it's the last one that still worked.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Get lab ready. Okay, I could get some info from queues. Let's try cache. Okay, cache also worked. Shared state. I forgot. Okay. Everything seems to have queried the Redis instance without any issues. So I think we are good. So takeaway from the meeting, we should investigate what happened when merging the two config files. Other than that, I think it worked fine. Anything more to add, Jason?
No, I'm still working on this particular multi-Redis MR, trying to get the desired functionality in a maintainable way that doesn't require at least to Helm 2.15.
Okay.
You can see the discussions there. Obviously, it works, and it works perfectly fine in Helm 3, and it works fine in Helm 2, as long as you're using 2.6 or 2.15. 2.15 is a no-no, as we know, because that's just a pile bug, unfortunately. I just actually made a comment on that MR of, I'm still trying to figure this out because of tainting when not using deep copy, but Helm 2.14 doesn't have deep copy.
Deep copy, yeah.
So trying to figure it out without making it horribly painful.
Makes sense. Cool. In that case, let's wind up the demo. Thanks everyone for joining. This is being recorded, and I believe Stephen will be uploading it.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So yeah, thanks everyone. See you later.
Have a good one.
See you, everybody.